Believe it or not, when me and Randy were teaming, there was a rumor, and they pitched it that I possibly win the Rumble, have some back and forth, maybe get rid of Brock. This was all a maybe. And then when Brock came in, we called the match, that wasn't going to happen. And he clotheslined and F5'd everybody and threw him out.
Sportskeeda Wrestling, I'm here with the King of Bros himself. All right, Royal Rumble weekend here at WrestleCon. You've been in a Royal Rumble. I've heard some wild wrestling stories from you about a Royal Rumble coming together.
Yes.
And there was a Royal Rumble. Was there a Royal Rumble you were close to winning at one point?
It's WWE. Anything can happen at any time. It's a wild place to work. And yes, there was, believe it or not, when me and Randy were teaming, there was a rumor, and they pitched it that I possibly win the Rumble, have some back and forth, maybe get rid of Brock. This was all a maybe. And then when Brock came in, we called the match, that wasn't going to happen. And he clotheslined and F5'd everybody and threw him out. But yes, and people argue, but I was in the last 4 people in the Rumble.
That's not bad.
How do you argue that?
That's not bad. Final 4.
How couldn't I have won? I was in the final 4, 5 of the Rumble out of 30. Common sense, bro. I could have shot on everybody and just took it if I wanted to.
Now, you are the biggest crossover from MMA, UFC to pro wrestling. For you, what was the first thing you learned that, pro wrestling is completely different? Because people said, you're a personality, you should try pro wrestling.
Yeah.
But what was that like, this is not the same thing?
I'll say this, I'm very good at fighting, and when I got into pro wrestling, I was like, I can hit all these moves, I can execute, I can do them sick. But if you're not connecting with the audience or telling a story or registering certain things and really making that connection with the audience, you're not wrestling, you're just doing moves. So I think the hardest part for me to connect with was that. So when I started, I was like, I got this, and then I just felt so awkward walking out. I'm like, woo, I don't know what to do. You're nervous with yourself. And then eventually I came into my own, kept hearing, turn yourself up by 10, turn yourself up. And I was like, what does that mean? And now it just means be yourself and turn it up.
Now let's reverse engineer this. You've been in the octagon with the UFC. Who's a pro wrestler you'd like to see go inside the octagon that may have those skills to throw hands and go bell to bell with somebody?
Well, not CM Punk. No disrespect, but not him. He already did it. It wasn't good, right? No disrespect. I think that would be really good, especially if you worked on jiu-jitsu, would be somebody like Chad Gable. I think Chad Gable could probably transition to mixed martial arts and dominate just with his.
He was an Olympic wrestler.
High-level wrestling. He gets a couple jits guys, a couple strikers. He will smash them and wipe the mat with them. So I think him, Otis, a lot stronger and tougher.
Otis.
And I'm pretty sure that guy can take a punch. You know what I'm saying? I think he can take a licking and keep on ticking. But even Angelo Dawkins, high-level wrestler, for his size, so athletic. There's a lot of guys on that roster people sleep on that are probably very dangerous in the street.
They want to follow Riddle, not the other accounts. They want to follow the real account from the man himself.
Real account. All right, real accounts. Instagram, Riddle Bro. Twitter, at Super King of Bros, and then Facebook is just my full name, Matthew Riddle. Nothing crazy. Honestly, I don't even have that many followers. I don't think anybody realizes it's my Facebook. But, and I have a TikTok, but WWE has the passcode for it, and I haven't got it back from them. So they just have it. I'm just sleeping on my TikTok account. So, yeah.
All right, bro. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Absolutely awesome.